This story is coming from Ecuador, which is like the very first time I read something scary from there. This guy says that he works at like a convenience store, but it's more so like homemade. Like it's in a neighborhood and it's in a 3-story house and it's vacant. The only floor that they use is the first one. The owners of the house, which are also the owners of the store, moved because they were having problems living there. So it was around 10 p.m. and it started raining, so he decided to close the gate so that nobody could come into the store anymore. However, if people did show up, they would just knock on the gate, or sometimes they would get their coins and start banging on the gate so that he can come out and help them. So he was sitting there enjoying the rain, and he would notice that when people in the neighborhood that lived there would pass by, they would all look up at the balcony of that house and start waving up there. He says he even saw one of the neighbors that lived next to the house look up there and say buenas noches. After a while, he finally heard somebody banging on the gate, so he comes out to see what they needed, and he noticed that it was one of the neighbors that lived next door. So the neighbor needed some eggs, and as he's grabbing those eggs for them, the neighbor tells him, "What's going on, Justy? Since when does Mr. Raul love enjoying the rain this much? I can see that he's really drenched, but when I try to call his name, he doesn't even turn to look." The guy that works at the store tells him maybe he's just drunk like always, and he gives him his eggs, and that was it. However, he says that he stayed there in shock and very confused. And that was because the neighbors didn't know that Mr. Raul, the owner of the house, the guy's boss, had passed away a week ago. He says that even now, till this day, the neighbors do not know that Mr. Raul has passed away. He said that he's noticed that when it's really rainy, a lot of the neighbors see him up there, and he just believes that maybe he's there protecting his home. He says that he has never seen Mr. Raul, hasn't even felt anything weird, but it does kind of scare him every time the neighbors come and say, "Oh, I see Mr. Raul up there. He never says goodbye. He never says hello." He also doesn't have the heart to tell them that Mr. Raul is no longer living. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a nosy bitch. I would be so happy to tell the neighbors that Mr. Raul has passed away, and what the fuck are you looking at, because he's not here, he's not living. Then again, if I had seen him, I would probably not be working there anymore. But what do you guys think?